So, since the recent special program, we got massive updates regarding the banner roadmap for the next versions, especially those new character silhouettes. And those silhouettes are a big deal, because they don't just tease who is coming, they also tease who is not coming, and that changes how you should plan your wishes from now until 6.7. In this video, we are going to talk about what reruns and debuts are most likely to happen and when, based on what we now know, plus a few logical conclusions that follow from the schedule. The goal is simple: you stay up to date, you do not get blindsided by a surprise rerun, and you do not waste primo gems on the wrong patch. Before we jump into 6.4, a really quick reminder for 6.3 for anyone who is not fully up to date. Phase 1 is Columvina and Anefa. Phase 2 is Novelette and Zebai, and we also get the new 4-star Aluga. Now 6.4. This is where Varka finally debuts, and yes, he was also one of the silhouettes in the special program, so this is not just a random guess. In a previous video, we talked about his possible kit, so go ahead and check that one out after this. 6.4 also looks like it could bring an Escoffier rerun. Nothing is fully locked yet, but her name keeps showing up around this patch. Some people are already expecting a Nodcry rerun as early as 6.4 just because the region will be a few patches in by then. But honestly, I still think that's a bit early. It's not impossible, but for characters like Flynn's or Llama, it feels more realistic that their first reruns start one patch later instead of immediately in 6.4. The bigger twist in 6.4 is the second debut. The silhouette list suggests a new 5-star named Lehen, and yes, the big dampener is that he is expected to be a standard banner character. So don't get too excited expecting him to be the next meta king. Standard 5 stars usually land more solid than broken. But there is still one funny upside. A new standard character means your 50-50 loss pool changes. If Lehen is at least playable, then losing a 50-50 becomes a tiny bit less painful because there is one less chance to get a standard unit you truly hate seeing. And if he is actually good, not standard banner good, then, yeah, that would be a surprise, but I won't hype that until we see anything real. For reruns in 6.4, an Archon showing up is very possible, with Mavwika or Raiden being the most likely candidates. And the reason I like this idea is because we've literally seen this exact structure before. In version 5.4, we had the standard banner debut of Mizuki paired with an Archon rerun, which kept the patch super attractive even for people who didn't care about the new standard unit. 6.4 is shaping up to repeat that formula, Varka as the big headline debut, Lehen as the new standard banner edition, and then an Archon rerun on top to keep wishes flowing. Now 6.5. This is where it gets a bit more cloudy again. The new character, Snow Maiden, is expected to debut here. We still don't have clean details on her kit from anything reliable, but the timeline slot makes sense because the later versions get crowded fast. For reruns, Skirk is a strong candidate if Escoffier really reruns in 6.4, because those two are linked in how players talk about their teams, and it would be a very natural cycle. I also expect 1 or 2 Nodcry reruns to start happening here, most likely Llama or Flynn's. If 6.4 is too early, 6.5 is the window where the first wave of Nodcry reruns starts to feel believable. Also, the silhouette teaser suggests a new 4-star Linnea around this time. Again, not fully confirmed, but she being shown as a silhouette is already more than what we usually get. 6.6 is where Nicole debuts. She was on the silhouettes too, and she is confirmed to be Pyro. That already tells you why the community is nervous. Pyro debuts are almost never mid. They usually come with big damage numbers, big reactions, or some new team hook. And somewhere around this window, we should also be getting Gretel, the new 4-star that showed up in the silhouette lineup as well. Her exact patch is still unclear, but 6.6 feels like a reasonable place to slot her in for now. On top of that, an Archon rerun in this patch feels likely as well, and Raiden is a very good candidate if she doesn't show in 6.4. There is also a very interesting rerun possibility here, Durin. Yes, I know it sounds early, but think about what happened with Xylonen in Navon. She was a universal support, and once people realized how good she was, her rerun just 4 patches later was still insanely popular. Duran fits the same pattern in terms of role. He is flexible, he buffs, and he plays like a support and sub-damage unit that fits into many teams. If the player base decides he is that kind of account upgrade, then a 6.6 rerun makes sense, even if it feels quick. And Kinich is also a possible rerun name here. Now 6.7. This is where Sandrone is expected to debut. Based on the broader direction of Nodcry mechanics, it would not surprise me if she is tied to Lunar Crystallize too, maybe even supporting Zebai or building a second Crystallized lane. If Sandrone does amplify that reaction, then Zebai rerunning in the same patch becomes a real possibility. And yes, Columbina's first rerun fits here perfectly, because she acts like the Archon figure of Nodcry, and Archon-style units usually rerun 3 to 4 patches after debut. Putting her in 6.7 is almost the cleanest timing you can get. For the remaining rerun slots in 6.7, Nefer is a possibility. If the patch wants to stack popular names to finish the Nodcry arc strong, a Nefer rerun could absolutely happen. And there has also been talk about future buffs leaning toward Liyue characters, which could lead to more Liyue reruns than we expect. That is not confirmed, but it is a reasonable watch this space note. The final slot could also go to an older Natlan unit that hasn't been around in a long time, or a classic fan favorite rerun like Hu Tao if they want a simple sales anchor. Now the one question I already know is coming: where is Alice? And the honest answer is the same as it has been in recent weeks. Alice will very likely not be playable during the Nodcry cycle. That does not mean never. It just means not now. If you were saving your entire stash just for her to drop in 6.6 or 6.7, you probably need a new plan. It is sad, I know, but it is better to accept it early than to ruin your saving route around a character that might stay a story NPC for this region. So that is the roadmap from 6.4 to 6.7 in a clean line. 6.4 is Varka's debut and probably Lehen as the new standard 5-star, with an Archon rerun very possible and a Scoffier still a strong rerun candidate. 6.5 brings the Snow Maiden and likely starts the first Nodcry reruns, plus Linnea as a new 4-star. 6.6 brings Nicole as the Pyro debut and could host a fast Duran rerun plus another Archon. And 6.7 finishes the run with Sandrone, Columbina's rerun, and a couple flexible rerun slots where names like Nefer, Zebai, or older Natlan and Liyue units could appear. And of course, the reminder that keeps you sane: leaks are just leaks. Even with silhouettes, Hoyo can shift banner order, swap reruns, and move a debut 1 patch earlier or later. Use this as a planning map, not as a contract. Tell me in the comments what you are saving for now. Are you a Varka believer? Are you waiting for Nicole because Pyro debuts always hit different? Or are you pulling Sandrone in 6.7 no matter what? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.